morning, good evening, good afternoon, good. Hello, everybody. My name is Welcome.
Hello, everybody. My name is Welcome.
The reason I thought about making this video was because I got a tweet on my timeline the other day, and it was a video quote tweeting a girl at a convention, a cosplay convention, anime convention, whatever. And the tweet that was quote tweeting that video was like, "Sex obsessed women have ruined cosplay conventions," or like ruined cosplay. And I'm like, do you know the can of worms you're opening when you say something stupid like that? Genuinely. Because, like, the reason I found out about that tweet is because that one wasn't even the one that was on my timeline. It was one because I follow a lot of cosplayers on TikTok, and then sometimes I'll follow them on their other socials too. Oh yeah, but the tweet that the cosplayer I follow had tweeted, it says, "I can't go to a convention without at least one guy coming up to me and saying or doing something inappropriate and non-consensual." And that's when I started to, like, I don't know, I just started thinking about it more. And I'll be honest, I haven't gone to a con yet. I want to, but I don't have the money nor the time for that. And the closest ones near me are like probably 2 hours away. Like, it got me thinking, and I was like, that is such a, like, strange thing to say. Like, why, oh, sex obsessed women have ruined cosplaying conventions, as if anime hasn't been as sexualized, not in and of itself, right? But like, to say something like that is just so ignorant, because it's like, so much of, like, anime is sexualized already, especially when it comes to the women in anime. So I don't think this is that. I just realized I don't even freaking think. I don't. The video that was quote tweeted was a video of a cosplayer at a convention, and she was going around asking anime cosplayers, or doing it with them, this pose that's been included in the last arc that's been going on right now in the season that is currently airing. And basically, the character, Kento Nanami, is fighting this other character. He picks him up by his hair. I'm saying this so I can give you guys a visual of, like, what happens in the scene, and then the thing that's happening in the video. Because it is literally just them recreating that scene. If, like, in my opinion, if both parties are consenting to this and they're perfectly okay with it, I don't see what the problem is. That scene, by the way, in the anime, he grabs him by the freaking ponytail. He's freaking yanking his ponytail. That didn't happen in the manga at all, by the way. I'd like to like preface that, because a lot of people are like, where's this Nanami love coming from all of a sudden? It's, first of all, it's been a thing. I'll tell you right now, I loved him since the freaking beginning. Don't even get me started on him. If no one else will say it, I will, because I have been saying it. I'm gonna fucking rip my shirt off Hulk style. I can't do this. So, of course, with the scene like that being added, and then making him all muscular and sexy, of course, fans and non-fans alike are gonna be freaking thirsting over it. What did you expect? And Mappa, I don't know, Mappa's just really good with giving us fan service. Yeah, I just wanted to give the context to, like, the scene and whatnot that was happening before that. It seems like everyone in the video that was doing that, because it was a bunch of anime cosplayers, it wasn't just one, it was like quite a few. And what's it called? Even people called it out. They were like, it's kind of hypocritical that you're like being like the women in the anime community, instead of like, I saw a tweet that was like, okay, well, the guy's offering up the services to do that, but the woman is the problem. Do you see how hypocritical that is? To be like, when well, I'm not gonna say it was men, because it wasn't just men that were in the anime cosplays. There was some femme ones, but like, to just like solely blame the one person is really strange, when both parties had to consent to this for this video to have happened. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it just seems like people are really hypocritical. Men specifically in the anime community are really hypocritical when it comes to how female fans indulge in fan service and how male fans indulge in it. You don't ever hear a peep about male fans indulging in fan service, because it's so entirely common within anime. You know what I mean? But like, what's it called? God forbid a woman wants to thirst over Gojo or Nanami. It's fucking game over. Like, I can't do this anymore. These women are so sick and they're twisted in the head. Like, dude, calmate. What's your problem? Yeah, but just in this like recent season alone, or like this recent arc, Shibuya arc for Jujutsu Kaisen in season 2, we know there's been a lot more fan service like catering to us and stuff. And it's, or just like anyone who's like attracted to men, like it's definitely catering to us, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. They cannot fathom when something is not for them. And so, like, God forbid women have anything and they fucking lose their minds. Like, genuinely. I mean, we've seen this happen time and time and time again. It's so annoying. Because they'll see one thing that is, like, kind of targeted towards, like, women, and they're like, yeah, but it's just like one of those things where it's like, wow, we finally have something for us. Isn't this nice? And even then, it's not to the extent that like male fan service is. Yeah, but I feel like the fan service in Jujutsu Kaisen is a hell of a lot more tame in comparison to other animes that have male fan service. You know how many examples I could just probably name off the top of my head of things? Like, My Hero Academia has had it, Danganronpa's had it, High School DxD, hell, Persona 5. And like, I'm naming off some things that I like. So like, do you know what I mean? Like, some of these things I enjoy. Not High School DxD. There's some that I watched that were really bad. Like High Rise Invasion. You could not go 2 seconds without seeing like a single shot of these 16-year-olds. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, there were 16. These 16-year-old girls, high school girls. In the first episode, when I can't remember the main character's name, but when she first gets introduced to us, I don't know if it was the opening scene or not. I can't remember. But the like intro to her was her almost getting sexually assaulted. And the guy that was like trying to do it, he was like using a sword on her or whatever, right? And he cut the buttons on her shirt open. And then I think he tried to make her take off her or whatever. And I was like, I don't know how much of that I could say. Do you not see the problem with that? That's weird. That's very strange and odd. I remember there was literally a scene where oh god, I can't remember her name. But I can't remember any of the characters' names, to be honest with you, because I watched it like when it came out, because it had a voice actor that I liked in the dub. So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a watch. It looks interesting. I literally just kept watching for him, and because I slightly liked the characters. Here's the problem for some of these shows. They have interesting concepts in theory, but it falls flat whenever all you're doing is showing us a lot of fan service that really doesn't need to be there and doesn't add anything to the plot. And usually is of minors. You know, high school characters, high schoolers. Hell if I know if that even goes any lower. I totally forgot to bring it up in the video, but that one stupid trope where it's like in a 1,000-year-old demon, like a little kid's body or whatever, I really hate that trope. It's just so upsetting. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see a joke about a 16-year-old's panties. I don't want to see them. Also, don't want to see that. Food for thought. Some of us actually don't want to see that. Have you ever thought about that before? I watched Kakegurui a little bit and I could not get through it. I really couldn't because there was just so much, and I was like, dude, what's going on? There's this one. I remember, didn't that one girl like shoot herself with her gun? Didn't that happen? Why did we skip past that like that didn't just happen? Huh? My Dress Up Darling. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that one. I didn't watch that one either, but I did see like stuff about it here and there because it was getting quite popular when it came out. And I was like, I really don't like this. Cuz here's one of my issues. It's so easy to make a character like of age. It's not that hard. A lot of these stories could still flow perfectly if they were a different age. So I don't understand why they don't just age them up so it won't be weird. But no, we want to pander to the teenage audience. Okay, so if you want to do that, why would you do if you wanted to do that, why would you put them in sexual situations and be weird about it? Danganronpa also pretty bad, especially with Mikan. There's like a weird thing where like you have a character. This also goes for Persona 5. But what's it called? Love Persona 5, but also what the fuck? Did we forget An's arc? And, like, from the very beginning? Like, I feel like a lot of, or maybe not a lot, but I've seen it happen too much, where a character has, like, sexual trauma and stuff like that, and it's, like, a big part of their character. And, you know, it's something that obviously really traumatized them. And then the animation studio or the game or whatever decides it would be fun and silly to sexualize them almost immediately after that, or even before that. And then they just keep doing it. Like it isn't weird and strange, like you didn't just tell us that that character has like really bad trauma with stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure they're like both high schoolers too. That will never not be weird to me. I thought it was weird when I was super into those things, and I still think it's weird now. I still like Persona. I don't really like Danganronpa anymore, but I just like you can like something and you can admit you can usually like something when it's not super fucking weird and admit its faults. And that is one of those faults for those things. But I feel like that's why it's such a relief to see Jujutsu Kaisen and the way that they do their fan service, because they're actually doing it with the characters that are of age. Isn't it such a relief to see? Isn't it such a relief? I can just you know what this is? You know what this is? That's peace. Doesn't it sound swell? No, apparently not for a lot of you, because you're weird in the head. Yeah, but I just think it's a really interesting thing to say that women are the ones who are ruining conventions because of our sexual behavior, considering the fact that men at conventions have been creeps since the dawn of time, and we know this much, and that's why cosplayers have to warn each other of who to be wary of. You know how many times I've seen stuff go around and be like, hey, please avoid this cosplayer at this convention, or please avoid this photographer at this convention, or avoid this convention at all because the person who runs it is a creep. You know how many times I've seen that? Too much. Far too much. Once is enough, but seeing it often is just incredibly sad. You know how many times I've seen mutuals and non-mutuals of mine that are also cosplayers post those templates that are like, oh, my cosplay boundaries, or like convention stuff, like little silly little Instagram story templates. You know how many times I've seen those, and in the templates it literally, one of the things to check off is usually like, would it be okay to come up to me at a con if you're feeling unsafe? For that to be common enough, for that to be included in like a template that should just be a silly little thing where you're introducing yourself, is like enough to tell me that this happens far too much and far too often for it to be this bad of a problem. I couldn't find any when I was looking for them of like those specific templates, but I know that I've seen them, and I'm sure some of you guys have too. I know that some of you know what I'm talking about. It also being like a common thing to like, please wear safety shorts if you're wearing like a femme cosplay that has to do with like a skirt or something, or like a dress, to have safety shorts underneath because people are weird and try and take like creep shots of you, or like just people at conventions, or like, oh, we should stay in a group because it's not safe. The fact that you can't even like go out on your own, even if you're a full-grown adult, you know how sad that is? And even then, a lot of time when this stuff gets reported, or like if someone's getting harassed and they're like, hey, this person's being weird, a lot of the time when people tell the staff that or whatever, nothing even happens to that person who was doing that. Which is so unfortunate, but I've heard it happen way too often, and I'm like, dude, are you serious? You want, like, you're okay with them staying there? That shouldn't be normal. Like, you should kick them out. Ban them if you have to. I don't know, I don't care. If you're doing stupid and creepy shit like that, you should get banned. I don't care. Especially, like you're old enough to know better. If you know what you're doing is wrong, if you're trying to beat around the bush and sneak around like that, you know what you're doing is wrong. Yeah, and the amount of times I've seen, like, people make accounts or Google Docs of who to steer clear of at conventions or online is genuinely so insane. Like, I really don't think I could count to you on one hand, or even both. Like, I literally saw an account the other day. I think it was called, like, the Cosplay Black Book, that was just accounts and accounts and accounts of people having horrible experiences with other cosplayers at conventions or online or wherever, and just warning them about stuff that was happening at conventions. Like, oh my god. I literally saw a thing the other day on that account that I was telling you guys about, the cosplay black book thingy, where it was talking about a game that was going around that was basically just trying to drug female cosplayers or like femme cosplayers. So, for you to sit around and say that we're the ones who are ruining conventions when shit like that's going on and has been going on, because it said in the post that that's been going on for a long time. So, for you to sit here and say that we're the ones ruining it, you are severely mistaken, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you, but that is simply not the world we live in. Once again, bringing it back to the sex obsessed women have ruined cosplay in conventions thing. It's such a bold claim to make because you know how many times I've seen people that or like men at cons asked to be stepped on by women or like femme cosplayers, or how many times I've seen men on leashes, or you know, like the Makima Denji cosplay duos where they'll have the Denji on a leash or something, which insane, by the way, that you are willingly doing that, but whatever. Like, to criticize this one and not the other is very hypocritical, because that has been going on longer. Or stuff like that's been going on way longer. So for you to be like, ugh, this is a problem. But this is, like, you don't say a word about this. Why is that? Yeah, but just I feel like in those two things, in comparison to each other, I feel like I've seen so much more stuff like this happen for ages. I've never been to a convention, but I did like to look into stuff like that when I was a kid because I really wanted to cosplay and I thought it was super cool. And I was like, oh, I really want to go to an anime convention because I've been into anime since I was a kid. And I saw a lot of stuff like that on the internet when I was growing up. And I was like, wow, this is quite strange, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. And like, I didn't ever really see stuff like this, to be honest. Because, you know, you know what? To be fair, I wouldn't expect any femme cosplayers to go up to a, like, male or, like, mask cosplayer and be like, can you do this thing? You know what I mean? Yeah, but male anime fans, we could get it. This could be a whole video in and of itself. But, like, male anime fans have such a, like, weird jealousy towards male anime characters, or like anime characters in general. It's so strange because they'll see a woman getting excited over like a male character and they're like they have such a weird jealousy towards these fictional characters that aren't real. No, Gojo is not going to come out of the screen and steal your girlfriend, but I might because you're being a freak in the head. I had an ex-boyfriend do this. It was so cringe, dude. It was so cringe. And I don't like calling things cringe. I'll get into that in another video. But it's just so weird. I'm like, dude, these characters are not going to come into the screen and sweep me off my feet. God, I wish they would. It would be so much easier. But the dating pool would be a lot greater. I want Gojo. I don't know who did that. That was really weird, guys. And they'll see a woman getting, like, mildly excited over a character, and they're like, God, I hope he fucking dies. Sorry? Or like, if the character dies in like the manga or something, they're like, oh, I can't wait till you find out. Oh, golly gee, I can't wait till I find out either. Except here's the thing, Betty. I was already 10 steps ahead of you and I already knew. On that topic also, I feel like a lot of them underestimate just how much women can be into anime or manga because it feels like they think we don't know anything at all. And I'm like, I don't know, like that's so strange and weird. Cuz like I've seen it time and time again where they're like that, they're like, "Oh, I can't wait till you find out. I can't wait till you see him die." Or whatever. And I'm like, do they think that we don't know? Cuz the majority of us already know that these things happen to them or whatever. Cause like the week whenever Nanami's death episode was about to come out or was about to air, I saw a lot of that happening on like Twitter. A lot of times when I've gone there, or for like anime Twitter especially, I'm like, dude, can you guys control yourselves? Like, oh my god, it's like almost embarrassing the way you act. It is embarrassing. is really bad, actually. They act like women are, like, these sheltered little creatures that, like, can't read or think or do anything for themselves, and what do you mean women can read manga? No, they can't. No, they can't do that. They're not smart enough. Nuh-uh. Dude. But it's just so weird. It's so weird and so strange. They're like, I hope they die. I hope you see when they die. I hope you scream and you cry and you throw up everywhere. Yeah, but they act like you can't do anything for yourself. Like, there's just no way a woman could read manga. Why would she do that willingly? How could she do that? That's only for men. That's for men! It's just so weird to me how angry they get about it. Like, they'll be like, I'm so glad they died. I'm so excited to see you guys finally shut the fuck up about them. My honest reaction. God forbid a woman get excited over anything, or enjoy any piece of media ever, or enjoy anything in the freaking world. It's the same people that are like, women can't understand anything, that also have, like, 0 media literacy skills, and they probably failed their English class back in high school because they were too busy goofing off and not paying attention to anything that was actually even happening. And I mean, they also just can't understand, like, symbolism and whatnot in the show either. If you're telling me that I don't understand what's going on, then what does that say for you? They also just act like you can't thirst for characters while also enjoying a show and actually genuinely really liking it. 2 things can be true at once, genius. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to you, but not everyone is actually just simply thirsting over the characters. And even if they were, what is it to you? Is it your business? No. Why do you care so much? And whatever someone else does that's like that is none of our business. At the end of the day, it is not my business, nor is it your business. And I think if it's 2 consenting parties, who cares what they do? At least they're having fun and they're being silly. I think that's what life is about. I don't really know what to talk about anymore. I feel like I have more words on this topic, but it's just not. I can't rack my brain around enough to remember everything that I want to say. But I probably am going to make a video again about a topic like this at some point, so I'll probably circle back to this whenever I do that, maybe. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. With that being said, don't be a freak on the internet. If you go to cosplay conventions, cosplay's not consent. I don't know. Just be a good person. Be nice to people. You don't know who needs it. Sometimes it can make someone stay. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, have a nice day. Or night. Wherever you are. Bye bye.
イエーイ一件落着